Hello everyone, and let's talk about developing a comprehensive, thorough generative AI adoption strategy. That's what you need for a successful adoption, to balance technology with human factors. Because really, generative AI is not like any technology that you've adopted before. It needs to be thoroughly customized to your firm. Unlike standard tools that others offer, that companies offered in the past, those, of course, need some integration, but they don't need nearly as much customization. But here, generative AI, you need to figure out your use cases. You need to figure out what will be applicable to your firm. And it's much more difficult because a lot of people feel a lot of anxiety and resistance to generative AI. So there was a recent survey from Pew that showed that in the US, 50% of the people feel anxiety and worry about AI, and they are more anxious than excited about its adoption. Only 10% feel the opposite. So you have probably half of your employees are in that 50% of US citizens, and something like 10% of your employees are in the percentage who feel excited about it. So you need to address that. You need to think about that. And to do that effectively, you need to have an effective adoption strategy with clear alignment with business goals to prevent wasted investment and have good structure to ensure efficiency and adaptability and focus on the human factors to address resistance and anxiety. So, first, align objectives. Make sure to assess your workflows to spot inefficiencies that AI can address effectively early onward, so you have small, quick wins. Define clear, measurable goals tied to business performance and build cross-functional teams across IT, HR, and operations so that they can help address those gaps and figure out good ways to integrate AI into your workflows. A lot of people talk about transforming your workflows for AI. I think that's a great 201 step, but it's not a 101 step. When you're just working on adopting AI, you need to fit AI into existing workflows, and then as people get more comfortable with it, that's when you change your workflows to adapt to AI more thoroughly and comprehensively. Then you need to think about engaging your stakeholders early. Early engagement is what builds ownership and trust organization-wide. I told you about building cross-functional teams, and that is part of engaging it, but also you want to have transparent communication with town halls and Q&As to reduce fears, anxieties, and resistance, and have people submit questions anonymously and answer them and communicate effectively about what AI will involve. Then you want to have a good roadmap. So map clear milestones, responsibilities, and pilot project phases that test AI in controlled settings before scaling it organization-wide. Also, as another step, think about choosing the right tools that are going to be compatible with your current systems and goals. So for example, are you a Microsoft shop? If so, Microsoft Copilot is your go-to tool. Are you a Google shop? Then Google Gemini is your go-to tool. If you use a number of platforms, you can choose Claude from Anthropic or ChatGPT from OpenAI as partners. So evaluate these tools for their fit into your industry and how well they do with training support. Have a structured roadmap that keeps your projects realistic and on track. Then next is measure success. So as you're implementing these things, you want to measure success both for the technical integration, business outcomes, and the human factors, addressing the fear, anxiety, and resistance, satisfaction with AI, and of course AI accuracy and effectiveness in delivering what it's promised to deliver. Track adoption rates and collect feedback for refinements, and use that data to guide model and process updates. Have that sustained continuous improvement over time. Have regular audits to ensure fairness, accuracy, and compliance, and address errors. There will inevitably be some errors, and you want to catch them and address them. Have ongoing training over time to keep skills sharp and adoption levels high. Let me share about a specific case study that I worked with a financial firm to work on integrating AI into their hiring tasks. Using AI, they cut their time to hire by 40% through smarter screening and through various AI interviewing tools. Employee surveys of recent employees, the new hires, showed higher satisfaction and efficiency in the process, candidate quality and retention rates improved significantly over the 6 months that this was measured, and feedback loops helped us refine tools sustaining long-term success. So that's an example of a pilot project, and you want to think about what you can pilot to get you to, as part of this broader roadmap, to get you to the outcomes that you want to achieve. And of course, be flexible about changing your roadmap if the pilots show that, hey, the initial pilots that you wanted are not going to be the best and quickest wins. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show. Please make sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you checked it out and leave a review. It helps us improve the show and helps others discover the show. And if you have any questions, email me at gleb, Gleb, @disasteravoidanceexperts.com.